Lavinia strode through the halls, Tybalt clasped to her bosom, crooning little songs to him and paying no attention to any fur that might be shed onto her dress. She's been carrying that cat around all day. Is she up to something evil? Gossiping about your betters, Ermengarde? You had better be careful. Bad little birds who squawk and squeal get gobbled up whole. She has not been going to the same science lessons I have, apparently. Lavinia threw her head back and laughed. Tybalt stirred in her grasp, yowling faintly. Shh, my princess. Yes, you are a good kitty. Shh. That's what cats do, you know. They eat the weak. I mean, that's just called the food chain. The sound of her humming marked her passage as she moved out of sight. I think she set that cat on the birds on purpose. I would believe that. I'm sure she wouldn't do that. Well, that's why you're naive, Sarah. You heard what she said. She was laughing at me. That doesn't mean she... No, I won't believe it. She said what she said to taunt you. And that was very unkind of her, but she isn't a wicked person, really. Well, it would be wrong to accuse her of something so dreadful. You are too charitable. Lavinia is horrid. I know you're always kind, and I'm glad you are, but she doesn't deserve it. It isn't so much about what she deserves. Kindness isn't something you should have to earn. A princess should always be kind, whether it's to a noble or a peasant or a witch. I don't know, clearly. You heard of the two ugly sisters. Sometimes being kind to a wicked witch is the only way to break her spell. Or throwing water over her, or to make a friend. I wish Lavinia would be kinder to others. So do I. So that was just us bitching about her. Great. Well, as per always, we need some vigour. Other than that, though, one of everything would be probably nice. So knowledge, obviously that. Then patience is the time thingy. What one's the time thingy? Come on, time thingy. Where are you? Oh, we could just do 2 tutoring. Yeah, let's do 2 tutoring. Because that way, that's patient and knowledge. Then we need grace and belief, which are the 2 heavenly ones. Could do that. Our artistry is too high, but I don't know. Vigor could be nice. If you go for a... That's sympathy, which we already have at 10, so we don't need to do that, really. I guess to add some vigor into it, we could do... No, we can't do that, because that's not how vigor works. I forgot. Oh god, trying about to use this. Fuck it. Practice dance was that one, and then I guess tutoring, or 1 vigor. That one. Done! Okay, good. The worst one. The worst possible one. Good. We did well there. Oh, wow. This is all pretty good. Finally. We got 2 in something. Oh, man. That was pretty shitty. Sarah, may I come in? Depends. If I say no, are you going to enter anyway? Of course. She was probably going to enter anyway. This may be a foolish question, but do you know where Lavinia has gone? Lavinia? I think it's Lavinia, isn't it? Is she not in her room? No. Then I don't know where she is. Perhaps she went out to have an ice. What the fuck? She must have gone out somewhere, but she didn't tell me that she was going. I feel like in the past week she's spoken more to Tybalt than to me. Well, maybe she feels isolated because we're so amazing. Probably that. She's obsessed with that cat. She's even taking it into her room to sleep with. I'm supposed to be her best friend, and... Jessie looked down, hugging her arms around herself. Sometimes when you're feeling sad, it's easier to talk to someone who can't talk back. Someone who'll just listen. Yeah, for that long, though? She looked over at the doll displayed in pride of place. Emily is a very good listener. You think Lavinia has trouble she isn't telling me about? Are you going to do this thing where you're going to be offended that she isn't telling you something? I hate it when people do that. I don't know you know her better than I do. I would turn myself into a cat if I could, if that would make her happy. Not so much best friend as, I don't know, minion at this point, but sure. It doesn't usually go well in stories when a princess is turned into a cat. That means she's under a curse. Oh, I'm no princess. You could be if you wanted to. Anyone can be a princess if they're willing to work hard at it. I'm not sure she knows what a princess... You're just born into... Yeah, sure, whatever. It's really hard. That's only pretend. I think princesses who live in castles are a kind of pretend too, because we pretend that they're different than we are just because of where they are born. You are a queer sort of girl sometimes, Sarah Crew. Maybe you're the one who was born different. I'm trying to fucking help you. Whatever. Fuck you. What? Oh, right, week 23. Event expired. Oh no, guys, we can't speak to Lavinia anymore. I'm so sad. I'm not sad at all. We're still in Act 1, though. We have to wait for week 23. Aren't we in fucking, like... We're in week 19, for God's... Oh, no, we're still in week 18. Oh, man. So 5 weeks before we can do anything with Becky. And we still got all of Twat Guard's things done. Lottie takes a little too much grace. She doesn't take as much. We'll do her. Sarah was curled up in her soft, comfortable chair with a book, while Mariette moved around the room, neatening cushions and setting items on shelves into orderly alignments. It was a book detailing life in faraway America, and 4 sisters who were growing up into women. Sarah found it well written, but less exciting than the histories and fantasies she preferred. Sorry about that. It is unfair for me to judge them too quickly. Perhaps they will have adventures when they are older. I have not had so many adventures myself yet, but I hope I will someday. I don't know, Sarah. The phrase, what's it? Is this the most interesting times in their life? And if not, why aren't you writing about that instead? That strikes me as what this book you're reading is lacking. As she turned the pages, she became aware of a faint musical sound elsewhere in the room. Mariette was humming to herself. It sounds like a shit Jack-in-a-Box nursery. Whatever. I wonder if she realises she is doing that. Distracted from her reading, Sarah listened for a while, trying to follow the thread of the tune. Miss Minchin's select seminary aimed to create well-rounded young ladies, but Miss Minchin herself did not place so much emphasis on music, and singing masters visited only infrequently. We all had to be good at singing. I would have sucked back in this day. On the streets of London, one might see performers of various sorts, fiddlers, organ grinders, sometimes even singers, although the city noise made it difficult for such to be heard. The street musicians, however, buskers, were commonly found in parts of London through which a refined young lady passed through quickly and did not linger. Her ear tempted by the possibility of a new source of music, Sarah asked, "What are you humming?" "Oh, pardon-moi, mademoiselle." That means, I'm sorry. French right there. "Oh, you don't need to stop. It sounded pretty. I was hoping that you knew the song and could sing it to me." I am not certain that I will remember the words, but I will try. She's going above the Call of Duty here. She's singing to a child. In a breathy voice, Mariette began to sing what must have been a children's nonsense song about a beautiful lady who is in fact a beautiful slice of bread living in a palace of butter. What, so you mean everyone in the house was trying to get on top of her? There's a metaphor in there somewhere. The lyrics were, of course, all in French, and 1 or 2 words referred to things Sarah was unfamiliar with, like coquignol. Don't know what that is, but she assumed they were another kind of pastry. Perhaps I should have Mariette buy some for us. If she can find them in London, they are likely to be more French bakeries here than in India. Yep, you're right. There are indeed likely to be more French How could you not think there are? Mariette's voice trailed off amidst a pile of confections. "Oh, well, you see how it is, yes? I am sorry it is not a proper song. I think it is a darling little song. Where did you learn it?" "Oh, nowhere important." Well, her boyfriend is what that look is giving to me. "It must be a common song in France. I wonder if it is something that my mother knew when she was a little girl." "You look sad, mademoiselle. Was my singing so terrible?" "No, not at all. It was very sweet of you to sing to me. I was just thinking about my mother." Don't set such a somber tone. "Oh, I am sorry. I did not mean to stir up painful memories. But I don't remember her, not at all. That is what I was thinking about." This seemed a serious subject, and so Sarah rose from her chair and stood with her hands clasped behind her, as if she were giving a recitation. "I never knew my mother, so I cannot miss her. I do not know what having a mother is like." "Well, yeah, but you don't want people to, bring up mothers and parents every other second. Like, my father picked you for me because you are kind and French as she was. So I wondered for a moment if he meant for you to be a kind of mother to me, as I am mamma to Lottie. No, we're not. Revoking that bullshit. I could pretend it was so if it pleased you, or if it pleased my papa, but it does not seem right somehow. I wonder... You are not my mother, you are Mariette, and that is something all its own. Mariette covered her smile with her hand. You are filled with thoughts, ma petite princesse. You do not need to worry, I do not wish to be your mother. Sarah nodded quite seriously. That is good, I would not wish to disappoint her. I thought you did... I am sure she comes out from heaven sometimes to watch over me. She doesn't. It might make her sad if she thought that she had been replaced, especially when I cannot see her or speak with her to explain. Would you like to see her? What? But how? Come here. Mariette drew Sarah close in front of her. Close your eyes. Blind, Sarah allowed herself to be guided by Mariette's hands. Shit like this normally ends up with a BBC investigation. Don't go there! She was not afraid. She knew Mariette would take care of her. Now turn and look. Sarah opened her eyes to be faced with a full-length mirror that always stood in her room. There is your mother, do you see? Yeah, how witty. I think I once went to a museum and it's just like, behind this door is the world's most terrifying animal ever to exist on Earth. And my dad went, it's a mirror, son. And I was just like, is it? And it was a mirror. And it was like, yeah, I see the message you did there. Yeah, because we're evil. This is what she's doing, sort of. Your mother and your father, they made you. They are always inside you. Don't make that BBC investigation go any further than this needs to be. Sarah stared at her reflection for a moment, then smiled. Mariette, I believe you are filled with thoughts too. Then we are a pair. How deep? Oh god. The sound of angry voices drew Sarah into the hall. Alright, Lavinia or Lottie, which one is it? You've been touching my things, haven't you? Yep, Lavinia. No, miss. No, miss. I hadn't. Didn't you come to clean my rooms? Yes, miss. Then you touched my belongings, didn't you? No, please, your pardon, miss, I didn't... Let her be. Sarah found herself feeling quite cross with Lavinia. Lavinia's moods had been mercurial for some time, but to take them out on Becky, who could not defend herself, it was too much. They're just going to forget about it. It'll be fine. Of course she's been in your rooms to clean them, and she may have moved something to dust it. That's not doing anything wrong, and you've no reason to scold her. I think she's just pissed for the sake of being pissed. No reason? No reason if she moves my books so that I cannot find them, or knocks items off my tables, or puts her filthy fingers on my underclothes. I mean, she probably hasn't done that, Lavinia. It seems like you're sort of looking for just a reason to be pissed off. The impertinence of it! As if she had any right to handle a young lady's possessions. Please, miss, I'm sorry. But Lavinia's eyes were on Sarah now. Perhaps you're the reason she cannot keep her hands to herself. Don't think I haven't noticed. Noticed what? That girl spending extra time in your rooms. What have you been teaching in there, hidden away? Telling stories again? What would Miss Minchin think of that? She'd probably encourage it, because we're a great student and you're a pile of shit. I've given Becky extra duties. It wasn't entirely a falsehood, Sarah told herself. She had requested that Becky stay and speak with her, and a request from a student was something like a duty for a servant. Well, sort of on narrow, ledgy ground here, aren't we? If you told Miss Minchin, she would wonder why you were interfering. You already have a personal maid. Is every servant in the school meant to be at your beck and call? There are many things I need done, and it is none of your concern. You think you're very special, don't you? You might have a surprise coming for you yet. It's going to be like Black Closet. It's going to have cow shit posted through our door. Lavinia whirled about, passing through the door to her room and slamming it behind her with much force. Oh, miss, I didn't mean to cause... You didn't cause anything, Becky. Whatever's wrong with Lavinia, it isn't your fault. Yeah, she's just being really weird. Oh, God, I hope it's not what I think it is. How old are we? Not old enough. Okay. Woo! I thought, hang on a minute, am I being unnecessarily harsh on someone? But no, I'm not, it's fine. Right, we need lots of grace. So I guess this one, although that sort of goes into artistry, which is a bit shit. But we will get some patience from that, I guess. So patience, and then we need... we need knowledge. So this one and this one and hope we don't get unlucky. Good enough. Okay, that's a good one. That's a very good one. That's also okay. That's perfect. I'm always surprised when that happens, when things go our way. She's angry again! She needs to be put down, okay? I'm just saying it. We just need to do that before any of this escalates.